So, what is this Epsom flush that I talk about, or what is the bowel flush I talk about? Recently, a friend of mine have contacted me via WhatsApp, saying that my father's bowel habit was fine, but he was quite unwell, elderly chap, with COVID, and since he has come home, he's having incontinence of the bowel. Now, at that age, normally we investigate stuff, but as you know, simple tricks works most often while you are doing your due diligence, and that might involve a simple stool test for a culture for rule out infection. Second is fecal calprotectin to see how inflamed your bowel is. Third, maybe an invasive colonoscopy or a CT colonoscopy to ensure there is nothing wrong with your bowel in general, like a polyp or cancer or diverticulosis, etc. But simple trick is flush the bowel, get rid of all the toxins. Commonest cause of incontinence after a prolonged illness is blocked up bowel with overflow diarrhea. One second. I think my second cup of coffee is ready. Yes, let me switch it off. So ignore my wife doing vocal practice. She always sings only the day when the teacher is going to call. Anyway, so you have got two options. One is a standard option, which is Movicol or Laxido or similar kind of macrogols, which is a laxative. So you normally take one cup of water and drink it, and then do second, third, fourth, fifth. Five is reasonably enough to flush you out, but some patients do need eight. But this is something you can do every Sunday morning as a ritual. My favorite, however, is the more cheap Epsom salt, and I suggest again, it's a titration. Some might need only two, some might need eight. Here, average, start with a 5 teaspoonful. When I say teaspoonful, this is teaspoonful, and it should be level. And put it in water, maybe double the amount or triple the amount of this. And this is really nasty taste wise, so you have to camouflage the taste with something nice, like maybe a smoothie, maybe some pineapple juice, maybe apple juice, or something, lime cordial, something, because on itself it is really yuck. You don't want to do it to your worst enemy. But once you have taken this or this, which one, option A, option B, you stay indoor. You don't leave house for 6 hours, up to 6 hours, and during which you are expected to have multiple bowel evacuations. So bowel, as you know, is a 6 feet long structure. Your large bowel I'm talking about, not the small. The bowel goes from the appendix area up to your gallbladder area, then goes to the left like a catenary, like a necklace. Yeah, it's called transverse colon. So this piece is called right colon or ascending colon because it's ascend up to the head, then it drops to the pelvis and go up again. It's like a M, the letter M, okay? And then it got splenic flexure. Had the spleen lies here. So the liver is on that side, called hepatic flexure. Flexure means like a bend. And then this is a splenic flexure, and then it goes to descending colon because it descends to your pelvis. Now the problem is in the pelvis it kinks like this, called sigmoid colon, and then the rectum. This is very bad kink. It was given by nature for continence and so that you don't poop all the time. It's a valve, safety valve. So you pile up the stool above it, and when the pressure is sufficient, it will open the valve, and then one load comes, you poop. And sometimes, it's quite often, you see that you go to toilet once and suddenly you need to go back again. That's because when you clear the one limb of the sigmoid colon and the more poops come out, you have to go and clear second time. But once you finish your bowel movement, you should feel happy and relaxed, and it's what a peaceful inside that. But if you have got IBS, if you have got blockage there in the sigmoid colon, if you have got internal constipation, even if you open your bowel 7, 8, 9 times, you're not happy. Okay, so this is called IBS with overflow, and this is the commonest cause of diarrhea. And if you don't have access to a GP or doctor, this is a safe thing to do. One off, just flush your bowel, decompress your bowel. All the good, bad, ugly, all the stuff will come out, all the poisons, all the toxins, all the old food, black stuff, rocks, come out, and then you empty your bowel. You're a happy man or woman. And then you need to put all the good bacteria back, because in this process you have gotten rid of all the good stuff as well, which is a good bacteria called gut microbiome, so you need to put them back by having probiotic. This is the best probiotic. Yogurt is the second best. This has got 5 times more bacteria. The only problem is that it's cultured dairy milk. There are two problems. One, you might be intolerant to dairy, then you cannot have this. Then your next bet is kimchi. It's a Korean probiotic, like a fermented cabbage. Normally it's a napa cabbage, but this is made up of radish. Okay. Or you can buy capsules from Holland and Barrett or Boots Pharmacist. There are many probiotic capsules. But the thing is, probiotic means live bacteria, good ones, Acidobacillus, Bifidobacterium, etc. And you don't have to keep taking them. But once you take them, they should colonize your bowel and do all the good stuff, making all the good chemicals like serotonin, the happy hormones, etc. But you need to feed them, and the bacteria like the food that you don't like, which is greens, So make a smoothie. The problem with this kind of kinky bowel, if you eat a lot of vegetables, then you might be in agony, because those vegetables will form a mesh and that will block up your left hand side, and your obstruction will be even worse. So for those guys, you need to have smoothies. So put whatever green stuff that you can find, kale, kiwi, mango, soluble fibers of mango, pineapple, whatever, and make a drink. Try to use less fruit and more vegetables. Spinach is another very common one. You can put pak choi, all the green stuff. So we cannot digest the green stuff, but the bacteria can. They have got enzyme to digest it. And if you do not give them the green stuff, they will go up north to the small intestine to grab other food which they don't like, but they are helpless. So they will eat your protein, carbohydrate, etc., and it's called small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. So they go further up north. Now it is difficult to it take a lot of damage for that to happen. Small intestinal overgrowth, you call SIBO, SIBO. Try not to do that. Try not to encourage bacteria to do that. And the bacteria will also, when you don't give them good food, they will eat up the mucus. Yeah, and that will damage the lining of your gut and cause leaky gut. Toxins will now swim across the lining of the wall of the gut into your bloodstream, and we see this very commonly in hepatic encephalopathy patients with liver cirrhosis, because they have got a congested portal circulation. As a result, their intestine is congested and the lining is defective. So the desmosomes, the tight desmosomes, is leaky, and they leak ammonia and all of the stuff into the bloodstream. Anyway, so rule of 3, flush your bowel with either Epsom flush. This is the term I coined. So in 50 years' time, when everybody talks about Epsom flush, remember it was my word. Decompress your bowel, left side particularly. With this, you cannot decompress all of your bowel, but the left side is the culprit. That's where we see diverticulosis. That's where we see the colon cancer mostly. That's the trouble war zone. And that's because of the sigmoid kink, which was evolutionarily important, but now that we decided to stand up on 2 legs, it dropped into the pelvis. And then the uterus, the bladder, and the sigmoid colon, they all fight for real estate. And as a result, if you got a sigmoid kink and IBS, you will also have bladder irritability. You will go to toilet too often. Also, during period, you will be more in trouble, because now you have got what called period pain or dyspareunia. During sex intercourse, a female unfortunately will have pain in the pelvis region. So pelvic health is another big topic. I'm not going there. This is a very simple thing in response to my friends who is asking what can he do for his father. So I told him, but I thought if I explain in a video, he will understand it. Does it make sense? So flush your bowel, give probiotic, and then give prebiotic. And the 4th thing you have to do, say a prayer. Before you eat, activate your parasympathetic system, nerve of rest and digest. Do not watch crime thriller on Netflix and eat your food. Take 5 deep breaths. Say grace, say Allah, say whatever God you pray, Krishna. Sometimes we we keep a little bit of food for our forefathers next to our food that I'm eating, but I haven't forgotten that. I haven't forgotten your mom. If you lost your mom and dad, or anybody near and dear who is rest in peace, who is not with you, but you're carrying their memories and teaching with you, dedicate a little bit of food for them. It's a token. It's nothing. They're not going to come and eat their food, right? But little bit, yeah? And then give it to the birds maybe. So all this kind of gratitude activity, deep breathing, saying grace, remembering God, whoever is your God, remembering that God, remembering your wife, remembering your kids, not the anxiety bit of your kids giving you anxiety, wife giving you anxiety, or husband giving you anxiety. No, I'm talking about the good stuff, that you're blessed, that you have got a family. There are many people who doesn't have any family. If you're orphan, think about all the friends and families you made. Remember the connection you made. So that's the fourth part of the equation, and very, very important. Okay? Fourth part is the peace, happiness, joy, hope, dream. So when you are eating your food, remember all these things. Then only you will digest your food. Okay? Is it clear now, more or less? Ask me question on the comment box. Have a nice day.